Hey everybody, this is me, Regan. It's probably my first video on color therapy, and I love this game so much, and it's a really good game. And today I'm going to be showing you how to do this kind of artwork. I mean, mine definitely won't be as good as that, but I'll show you how to do something similar to it. So let's enter the challenge. I've kind of already started, I'm sorry, but all the stuff that I'm going to be doing, I'm just going to be doing it over again, So the thing is that you probably don't want lines, right, like this. So you can just go on here, this button, you could turn it down so you see the lines going darker and darker, and then this is all the way capacity, the 0 capacity. And then this is what it looks like. So to get that like little texture, the texture of like the paintbrush, it's called classic painting. It's one of these effects. And then you really don't need any lines, so you can just like click on no lines. And almost the 101 thing for color therapy is while you're coloring, always go to this page because it's gonna be the final like thing. So always go here before like you think you're done. So I will be coming back to this a lot. But I'm going to be coloring with a little bit of lines so I can actually see what I'm gonna be choosing to paint on. So as you can see, there's like kind of like a forest kind of situation, and I'm guessing this is supposed to be like a mountain, but like I kind of made it like kind of ivy almost. So I'll be showing you how to do like this kind of like that kind of effect or like this effect, and I'm just using this because sometimes my finger gets tired after doing it for a long time. Hopefully this video won't be forever, but who knows. So I've been kind of working on this little part today, and so the color capacity I kind of like this, the lines I kind of want a little darker but I can still see them. So I'm going to be using the VIP stuff. I'm sorry if you don't have VIP, but if you have it, you should try this like first because it's the funnest thing. And so the colors that are best I'm going to be using for like this like sparkle kind of fairy dust is like this very light yellow 2 color, and it's going to be probably the lightest one on this first row. So just get that, and then you come on to these, and then you look over a little bit, and it's called fairy dust. We're going to have it at 23 size capacity, and we're going to have it at 100. Okay, I'm sorry. I can't do this. This is my first time, I'm sorry. Okay, so I want to have that fairy dust kind of look. So if you come over here to this, we're gonna just add a little bit, not a lot, but just, well, guess what? I have my in lines kind of thing. You don't really want that on, especially when we're doing fairy dust. So you don't want to make that look really weird. And don't worry about the white stuff, we're gonna fix that, I mean, at least I'm gonna fix that. So it's really pretty, I love this because like look at this beautiful sparkles and shines. So I'll show you this, you can go on the crystal, it's right by the fairy dust. So you go on crystal, and we're gonna have that 1 size, and for the opacity, that's what it's called. We're gonna have about 34, sorry. And we grab that, and we're gonna go to this yellow again. And then the yellow is gonna be this yellow. I'm gonna just put on the time thing so it won't be that hard. So we have that, and this is what it looks like. It just looks very light and beautiful. And we just put a few, we don't want a lot. And I think I really like that. So now as you think it's looking more like that, but just like less full. And now we could probably get this blue color kind of. So like you see that purple color over here, and it's kind of like with leaves anyway. So we're gonna grab that, and we're gonna go on the fairy dust again, the exact kind of same, but you should probably make this a little lower to size 16. And we're just gonna sprinkle just a little bit. And you see how this is kind of coming together a little bit. At the end, we'll have to do some of these like sparkle kind of stuff again because I want it to show through on other bushes. But I'll show you that at kind of at the end. So let's see, what else do I need to do? Okay, we need to go on the spray, and the spray is probably going to be lower because it's smaller plant. So we're going to have that 21 size, and then this opacity is probably going to be at like 100. And then we are going to go on this this lighter color. Let's see, it's on the number 1 yellow, and it's going to be the first one on the second row. So you pick that, and then you come over here, and then you can just do this a little bit. And then we probably want to make it a little lower to 7, because I thought this was going to be a little bigger. I mean, I thought it was going to be a little smaller, but nope. Okay, so that's really all you need to do to make that really pretty sparkle effect. And I think it's easier to do it on something bigger than something smaller, because if I do it on something smaller, use a light fairy kind of thing, the crystal kind of things look a little offset, I guess. But yeah, you can always add more to make it normal air. But that's that. So after you always get done with something, you always go to next page. So you see how that looks. This is how it honestly looks right now. And I made these little things by just by easily just going on the 0 lines, and then I go over here to this eraser, and then there's like this smear button, and you definitely don't want it too big, but I make it like about that. And then you don't want it over capacitated, because then it will smear too much. So then you just come up here and you grab, and then you just like go down, I guess. And I don't want to do a lot, because like the sparkles are just going to get unsaturated, and I don't want that. So we don't want that here. So I'm just going to leave that be. Let's see, what should we work on next? Sorry this is taking forever. I just want to explain everything perfectly fine so nobody's really confused. If you do get confused, be happy to just put something on the put stuff down in the comments so I can read them, and I will help you. And please follow my account. I just got like 100 followers, and I'm super glad that I did that. I don't know why I'm so excited about that, but I am. I mean, you'd be excited too if you had got 100, right? So we're just gonna do pretty much the exact same thing that we did over here. And let's see, spray. What's next? Glitter. It's sometimes kind of hard because like this could go in a certain order, or it can't. Sometimes in my mind I'm like, it has to go in a certain order, and then I do the order wrong, and I'm like, ooh. So I did that. Yes, it does look a little weird because it's smaller and these look huge, but sadly you can't make it any smaller. This is size 1. So, let's see. Let's go down over here to this pink bush. So, and you do always want different things to be different colors. So I'm going to use this color. Let's see what the color goes after. I get this. This is going to be the turquoise, and it's going to be the second to last, the one on the first page, on the first little line. And you just do a little sprinkle, you know, kind of stuff like that. And then you can always add some more pink. I accidentally added that pink, but I kind of like it. And then you can always add just more colors, and then if you don't want that kind of like weird kind of shape, then you can go on the smear and make it a little smaller. And on smear, sometimes you need to remember that you can have the color inside lines off and on. This time I want it on because I don't want to smear all that, so I'm just gonna do that a little bit. And it looks a little bit more, it just looks a little bit more better. And then you come on here, and I should have used the number 1 size on this like bush for the fairy dust, but I didn't because that's me. And you just kind of sprinkle that on, and you probably want to turn this off for just a little bit. And then you want to go to the crystal, and then you just make that go up a little bit, and then we can still make that go down. Okay. So now you just add just a few. You don't want like a whole bunch because you don't want it to be overwhelmed, you know? So that probably looks good to me. And then you get on to your spray if it looks too colorful to you. And I think this is fine, but if you go on your spray and you could do that, and it looks more like kind of dust or almost. This is like supposed to be like a magical kind of forest. Let's see how this is kind of looking. Okay, it's looking good. I think I do really like this plant because I added the little blue outline kind of stuff. I'm probably gonna do it with you. So how to do that blue outline is that it's gonna look ugly at first, trust me, but then after you kind of figure it out, you'll get there. So this is the color that I used for that. So I just come on the regular pen and I make it a little smaller. Let's see how small it is because you can never really tell. It's probably a little too small actually. Okay, let's make it a little bigger. And we want to put inside the lines for this. And then you just kind of do a little like swatch like that. And you don't want it to be super big. And it doesn't have to be perfect because we're going to be doing something to it that we don't want it to. And with me, I always keep it on one side because it looks like it's waving, like swaying the right way. Like it's swaying this way towards you where the wind is going this way. So I always just keep it on here and I think it looks a little better. And then you kind of just, but on this one I kind of like, see it's kind of like flipped, so then I always just do that. And then on these, you won't really see it, so I'm just gonna leave those alone. And then you see how like sharp that is if I click next. See how like sharp and like out that is? I want to make that a little like more, I want to make it more friendly and not very sharp. So it looks like you won't cut on it. But you kind of just do this. And it's kind of horrible that I'm doing this right now, but like I can always redo it, and you don't really want to do a whole bunch unless you want to do a whole bunch. You can always go over it again, don't worry. And then you can always just like, just do this. And it definitely doesn't have to be perfect because it's nature. Come on. Nature doesn't have to be perfect all the time, right? I mean, we're not perfect all the time, so why does my nature have to? But, yeah. And then you kind of just do it everywhere where you want to do. And you kind of just smear all here, smear everywhere. I kind of make it a little smaller so I'm not going to get my fairy dust all smeared up. Like I showed you up there that I don't want to do that and I'm over here doing it. Guys, help me. Well, this is looking better, right? So then you come over here and you kind of just keep smearing it. This is the last little thing. So then you come out and it does not look way more friendlier and bolder, I guess. So now that I showed you that, let's try to work on this water situation. Honestly, I don't even know what I'm going to be doing for this, but I don't want it to be super pop and bright. So I'm going to go on the, let's see, where did I get this color from? Okay, I would just go on basic. Let's see, let's just go on basic and we're just going to get the last blue color on this first line. We're just going to grab that and we're going to put it everywhere up here. I'm guessing this is like a little water kind of fall, and I definitely want to do that a little lighter of a blue. And I want to do like these little speckles. Like, I want to do these little speckles like green because it might look like leaves or other such as things. Let's see, if we grab this, if we go on the shades, and we go on this more saturated blue, and we kind of just do this, and we kind of just make like a little swatch, and we do that. I think it looks a little better. Like we just put this somewhere here or there, and then we can go on the smear tool and make it as big as possible because, smear. And then we'll take off this mod, and then you're always doing this. It's a good idea to just grab like this or something. Stop. And then you grab this and like just get all the white spots on your area that you're about to smooth off, because if you are smoothing it with white areas on it, it might be harder to do that because when you smear it, there'll be white, like little smears. And I definitely don't want that in this river. So I'm just gonna take 25,000 hours to do this. Let's see, I wish I could speed this up right now. I might learn how to do that today. And then, so that took forever. now you go on your smear tool, and then you do as big as down here, because up there you want it to make it a little smaller so you don't smear all this together. So you just like do a little of this, just not too much, because if you do too much it looks a little funny. Like since the river looks like it's going like this way, so I'm gonna just kind of just smear it towards this path. And then sometimes I'm like, it looks too blue. I can just put like some of these like kind of dark little spots, and then I can just kind of work it in with this and make it a little better. So I can just like do that fully and like just smear that in, and I can do the same, pretty much same up here. So, and let's go on this again, see, make sure. Okay, water. We got water, good. So then up here, I want so bad to put this on the no line kind of thing, but probably don't want that. So let's just go and smear again. Did I sneeze? And then you make it a little smaller, and you definitely don't want to do this or something like that. So let's just redo that. So glad that they have that like little back button, because if they didn't, I'd be a wreck. Because you do not know how many times I use this thing a day. I use that thing a day. I mean, I love color therapy, and if this is like your first time doing color therapy, start off easy. Like everybody started off easy. If you go on my account and you scroll all the way down, you will see the most weirdest things ever. Okay. But we want to get that little blue over here, and you can always like do this. So you just like click it and hold it, and then you can put it over here. Guys, you don't have to have this. I'm just using it because I love it and I like it, and I got it for a reason. So you just like kind of barely smear this in, because like I definitely want to do it. Don't get too close to that, but let's just kind of work that in. And then we don't want to have like these like weird kind of splotches. Like if I was doing something else, like not a river, then I would, but I definitely don't want that. So I think it's looking good. Kind of reminds me of a Bob Ross painting, but different. Okay, so let's see about this. Honestly, I kind of just figured out that this is this. Oh no, this is a lead leaf. Okay, well, let's just do this real quick. Really fast. No, don't do that. Don't do this too right now. Okay. We're just gonna do that. And then we're just gonna go on fairy dust really fast. Put some of that on. Put some of that on, call it good. Honestly, that doesn't look very good. It doesn't look normal to the rest. It doesn't look like it was done properly like the others was. Let's see. I'm sorry, we're having a little detour. Let's see, let's go back. Sorry, you probably just couldn't see right there. I just needed to scratch myself on the head. Okay, there. Okay, we want to get a lighter color, and then we definitely don't want to be like, oh yeah, this will work. No, it's not gonna work. So if you always want a lighter color of anything, you just go on this airbrush. And if this is your first time doing color therapy and you're kind of like, oh yeah, I should watch this girl, she looks kind of good. Because I am good, just saying. And then you go on this, and then you just, let's just see how this looks and feels to us. Because we can always change it, we can always go back. And then there you go. And then we definitely want this to be lighter than the others. So I definitely want it to be lighter than this, so we're just gonna do that. Then do that, and then I'll just do that. Yeah. Things falling down. Okay. So do you see this white over here? This is what I was avoiding, but I totally didn't do it correctly. So then you can always just do this, and it's okay, because it looks normal when you kind of just zoom out. So you just kind of grab the color that's closest to it, like that, and then kind of just do that, and you kind of just bring it over here if you can. Yep, perfect. So then you don't want really big strokes, but like, see, like if you come over here to your flat brush, is that what I was looking for? Oh wait, let me just see what this even looks like. Okay. Yep, this is what I'm looking for. Okay. And we want to just make this definitely not 100 opacity, but like 32 is what I'm using. Let's just do some swipes on some of them because we want that. And then how I'm not getting the swipes down here is because I'm using the color inside the lines on though. I don't know why I turned it off, but I did just for a little bit. But I turned it on again. And we might want to use just a little bit of yellow because it's running down, right? So we want to kind of make that little strokes. And if you want it more bold kind of strokes, because like you can barely see that, right? And you could always go to this, they switch around all the time, so I'm like, where do they go? Thin fur. And then you kind of just make it go a little deeper because it's not that big. So you kind of just do that if you can. I mean, if I'm capable of that. Okay, and you kind of just do that on just some of them. If you want to do it on all of them, I'm fine. This is your artwork, not mine. I'm just kind of teaching you how to do this. And then you kind of just do that to some. And then these are really bold, right? You see those are look really bold. And if you don't want them that bold, you can always make it a little darker like that. You always have a little bit of dark if you're going to smear. Because it's always nice to have that little dark kind of that. And let's not make it that big of a smear. So the opacity is going to be 54, and then let's make that a little bigger. And then we're still going to be on the color inside the lines, and we're just going to barely even do anything. Like just a little tap tap, and then tap tap tap, tap 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 tap. Like this, like so, like blah 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 blah. Okay, there. Let's see how this last slide is. Okay. This looking pretty good, right? I mean, I hope it is. If it's not, then I'm sorry. I mean, I think it's looking pretty good. Okay, so, and this is very sharp. You see how sharp that is? It's like very oof. Like, and all the rest is kind of like smooth and like nice. And I was talking about, hey, we don't really want sharp stuff, especially if we're doing this kind of thing, because like you can't really do that. So you want to take that off because I wasn't even doing that. So you just kind of barely even touch it again, and then let's see how that looks. Wait, let's even just do that. Okay, forgot that you could do that. I always forget stuff on this game because it's so amazing and you have so much stuff that you can do. And then I think that looks a little better, and it's not like the biggest splash ever, so it doesn't have to be like super misty and all that stuff. For some reason it looks a little weird over here, so we're just gonna kind of fix that, fix all this. Okay. Nice, right? Nice. Okay. So I think I want this a little more, not like it's about to die kind of look. So it's very calming, very nice, right? It doesn't have to be like boom. Okay. Beautiful, right? And then we want some just pop of color in this, right? Because like it looks kind of bland to the rest of this. So we want to probably get like pink, because like these are flowers, right? So we want to just do this, and we're just gonna make some of them pink, and then I think I want to make some of them blue or like yellow. I think yellow would be nice. So I'm just gonna make a few of these pink more. Okay, I think that's good. So then we're gonna go on these shades over here. Shades, because sometimes it does weird stuff. Okay, let's go on this 2 yellow. I love the 2 yellow colors because they just look so much better than the 1 yellow. Because like the 1 yellow looks black, unless you're looking for really dark yellow. These just look a little bit more better to me. So then you don't want the brightest color in the box, right? You don't want that. So you want a little bit more of that. I think it's looking very, very nice. And if you do like one whole color of these, like if you just do one like pink flowers, like just like the whole entire thing's pink flowers. I like different colors and more colorful kind of details. And yes, there's more yellow than pink, but that's always good to have like a little more of color than a whole bunch of just one color. And one yellow leaf looks horrible and I just want to fix it. So, and then if you come on here, Yes, the flowers are very, very bold, but we will fix that too. And then it kind of looks like they're floating on nothing, and I kind of want to just make them look like they're floating on something. So I want to make this kind of dark green, because it's not going to be the lightest green, because that's just not normal. And then let's see how big this is. Okay, this actually doesn't look too bad. Okay, so let's just do this little like line on just some of them, because we don't want all of it and then all of them, and then we're going to see if that looks better or not. And then on the bigger ones, you definitely want a bigger line. And then you just kind of do this. I'm sorry if you hear my brother yelling at my dad in the background, because my brother's super mad at me and he's excusing. He's just making excuses to not go outside and work. He's just wants to play video games. So then you just do that a few times. I think that's enough. I think I'm gonna do one up here, one up here. Okay. Let's see how that looks. Let's see if that looks a little better. Okay, see, like there's a little bit more color in there. And the flowers are still very bold. So I want to just go on smear again, make it a little, I want to make it smaller and like this. And we don't want to smear it too much. We don't want to be like this, okay? Because that just looks weird. And then I want to go no line so I can see exactly how this is going to look like if I smear it in a little bit. So I just want to do like that, and that's always like good. I'm not going to do all the flowers right now because well, this is going to take forever, number one. But yep, kind of just doing that. So again, this is my first video doing this color therapy, like tutorial almost. I'm definitely not the best at this. I'm definitely not the best. Because like there's these other people that are actually the actual color therapy people, like, I swear. and then you can always look at them, but I feel like you should watch me because I'm me and I want you to watch me. Okay. And you just kind of do that a few times. Let's see. Look at the ones that we haven't done yet. Okay. I know this is taking forever, but color therapy, it can take forever. And if you don't want something to take forever, then you just pick an easy kind of color thing. You don't do as much detail like I am. So this is how the little like leaves yep, they're called leaves, totally not flowers. So we do that and we kind of just zoom out a little bit. I think that looks way better than how sharp and edgy that it was. So like you see, I think that one I kind of missed. But let's just go kind of fix this bottom because it looks a little bit sharp. Okay, so we did the leaves. What color do I want the bridge to be? What color do I want the bridge to be? No, I don't want to go out yet. I don't want this. Okay, what color do I want the bridge? Let's see. Well, let's first make sure I actually see the bridge. Okay. So, I want to make it wood bridge because they're kind of in the forest and metal would just be too, like, out there. I think wood would be nice. And honestly, if you come over here to brown, this brown, they're very pretty browns. But honestly, I think the skin tone browns are looking a little better because that's what the skin tone browns that I used to use. But they were my own browns I really had. So I kind of just used those in the hair. But let's see if we can find a good color in the actual brown. Because like I like saturated colors, very saturated colors, because this is a very out there kind of pop piece, and we definitely want the bridge to be kind of pop and out there, right? So we don't want to go too dark like this. We don't want to go too dark, but sometimes you never really get the right color that you want, and I make my own colors if I don't have my right color. And I think this is the nice color for it. So we're just going to do that. We're going to make this one like darker. Since it's under, it's going to be darker, and same with this stuff. So we're just going to go on the black. We're just going to make it a little small because we don't need it to be the biggest thing ever. Then we're going to come over here, just do that. We don't want it super dark, but we want it about like And yes, on this we do want pretty sharp edges because, but then if they're too sharp, we can always just do that. Let's see this brown actually might be too good. Okay, my thing's kind of falling over here. Okay, let's just redo that. Okay, is that better for you guys? I hope it is, because if it's not, I'm sorry. Okay, let's see. Yeah, scoot back a little bit. Okay, so I think this brown might be a little too dark, so I'm just gonna grab this brown that's already on it and just do that, and then I can just do. Well, that didn't do anything. Is that too light? No, I think it's good. Let's just redo this. Okay, let's see. And BTW, I'm 13. I'm not the most oldest and eligible person ever. And I am super smart. It's very smart, yep. That's definitely not me. I'm gonna make lots of tips and tricks for you guys to learn how to do if you're just kind of starting and you want to take that level up on your art skills. Here comes my dad. Okay, there it goes. And then for this, we might want it to be lighter than this and we don't want it to be the same thing so it looks like it's like. So we want to make it a little lighter. So we're just gonna get this white. And sometimes if you're making the wood lighter, then you want to get like a yellow or something. So so it'll still be saturated, but not as dead inside. So then you can do that, but then sometimes it looks too white and then it's like, ew, that looks gross. I mean, it's too yellow. Man, I cannot say stuff anymore. But this isn't nice. This is nice. It's just not too out there. Okay, so this is the bridge. Now let's see what it looks like. Just normal. Okay, yes, it looks very sharp and clean, and sometimes we don't want that, but I think it looks good if we have it sharp and clean. But yes, the bridge does pop a lot, and I want that to pop a lot. I do want the river to pop a lot too. You want like almost everything to pop. And this background and the background kind of stuff doesn't really need to pop a lot, but pop a lot. Again, sorry, I don't know why I did that. So I kind of missed this little part. I keep missing everything because like this is a very kind of small kind of painting. It's a very tedious because there's so many things to learn. And right now I always use the whole that you can do that. I always use that because I think it's just easier for me, and you can still just do one strand at a time. So and for this green plant over here, I think we're gonna use a different kind of green. For the colors that I've been using for these plants, I've been using this green this time. Let's see, what is it called again? It's called green ombre. I cannot read very well, so if I biff this reading stuff, I'm sorry and blame me. So I think I want this to be more of a olive kind of darker kind of green. I think it looks a little better. Let's see what color this should be. It's definitely gonna look like this, but that main color is blue and that main color pink. Let's do purple for this, yes, or a pink. Oh, pink would be good. Okay, my mom's watching my sister play volleyball right now on her phone, and she's just yelling at her phone. Parents, right? So like that, and you need to turn this on so I don't get it on the bridge and have to do that all over again. Because let me tell you, I think we're right. Okay, so we're just gonna do a little bit of that. Maybe put some down here, put more pink up here, and then it kind of looks a little funny because it's just so not right, but then you just go and smear. It doesn't really care. I don't really care what kind of thing you use. You can just do a little smear and that, and pretty nice, right? It just makes it more nice and clean, I think. So we do that, and we kind of just do the same process that we used up here and over here and how I showed you on that and that. So we're just gonna kind of use that process really fast. But on this, I kind of want to use this pink that I did over here, kind of, that I showed you. So I want to do that again. But hopefully, but this time I'll do it before I do the fairy dust kind of stuff like that, because it's always better to do it before that. I don't know why I didn't do that. So we're just going to do this really fast. Hopefully, I can do it fast. Jeez, this is my first time kind of like drawing like this, because I'm usually just like sitting on my butt on the couch and having my tablet on my lap. It's my first time kind of drawing like up like this. Probably gonna have to get kind of used to it. Okay, and I kind of just do that, and I missed completely. Okay, looks good. Then we just go on the smear technique all over again. But this one I want to make it a little bit more bold, since we couldn't really do really bold over there. Now I want to do it over here. And then kind of just make it like that. It's okay if it kind of disappears on you. It's kind of good if it sometimes disappears. But you can kind of just do something crazy like that, or you can just do it like super smooth and still pretty clean and nice. This is just pretty much just pink. Okay, I want to do some up here, over here, and over here. Okay, we did that. Now I want to do this little fairy dust. I want to go back on that yellow. So see if I can get there. Okay, the two yellow, and then the middle one. I've just been sitting in the same spot for a long time. Just need to. Okay, let's see. And we want to turn the saturation kind of color off. I mean, not saturation. We want to turn this off. So I'm just going to click it again so you can actually see. Okay, so we have that now, and we don't have too much sparkle dust right now. Let's see, the crystal, this, good, okay. And then since this is bigger, we can add more of this kind of sparkle, and it's okay if it gets on the bridge, because I think it looks better if it gets on the bridge a little bit, so. And then we want to, you see how much bold, that's still bold and bright that pink is. Let's just come over here with the spray, this little spray. We're gonna make it really small, but the saturation is gonna be big. And we're just going to just spritz, sprinkle up here and everywhere. We can make it a little bigger like that. Okay. We did something in life. Well, this is what it looks like so far, and I'm pretty much done. And all the techniques that I used on this, I showed you. So if you like this painting and if you like this tutorial, you should go on my account and follow me on my account. And if you could subscribe, like, or even comment if you have any questions. And thank you for watching this video, because there's just so many videos out there on YouTube, and you just pick. You pick to watch this video, and thank you. Bye, guys.